Welcome. If you guys don't know who I am, I'm spiritual coach, life coach Coco, just someone that just wants to help you out in this thing called life. Um, Today's message is going to be very different from the messages that I have been putting out from before. And the reason why is because lately, people have been noticing your light. People have been noticing something different about you. They've been feeling like you it's like you know something that they don't, right? Let me put it this way cuz I feel like they feel like you know something that they don't, and they feel excluded, and they feel like you're not able to connect with them. Okay, opposite. You feel like you're not able to connect with them because it's almost like you guys don't speak the same language. There's a song by Drake called Circadian Rhythm. And in that song, he's like, niggas can't speak my language. Niggas can't speak my language. How the fuck I'm still up? And it's kind of like, it's that type of energy that some of you might be experiencing. Like, how are you in this peaceful place? How are you in this wonderful place? How are you in this tranquil place? And you didn't have anybody around you that stayed along the journey. Everybody that has been in your journey and in your circumference has kind of just fell off. And the message I was getting before I started, but before I just started talking and got on here, was like, your life can change in a day. Your enemies can literally turn into your best friends, and vice versa. I actually meant to say it the other way, but that's how it came out. But your best friends could turn into your enemies, like, in a day. Your family could turn against you. Excuse me, you could turn against yourself. I'm like burps of confirmation. Why do people say that? It'd be true though, because I don't feel like ever burping. I haven't even had like anything to drink. Okay, I had some water, but water usually shouldn't make you burp. Give me a second. Um, So I really want you guys to start taking in, like, look at people's energy more than you look at who they are as a person and what they do. Because a lot of the times, a lot of you guys might feel unsafe because people haven't shown up for you. A lot of you guys might feel unsafe because you just don't necessarily know where to look for help. And it just seems like going to specific people for help has been not helpful. Like, they're not helpful. And I think a lot of people, for myself, they don't sometimes like being around me because I like to be helped in a certain way. But it's like, if I'm the person receiving the help, I just don't want any type of help. And I know most people would say, well, you're just getting the help, so you don't get to choose the help. Yes, I do. What are you talking about? I do get to choose the help, because if you're someone that says that they don't know how to do something, like if you're someone that says that doesn't know how to mount a TV, I wouldn't choose you for that task, because bitch, we're in the same fucking field. If you're someone saying that you don't know how to cook, why would I invite you over to help me with the recipe? That shit don't make no sense. So it's like, stop going off of what people are saying and what, like, I feel like, especially in America, we have like these long lived like quotes and sayings that don't relate to a lot of people's life. It's like the people use it like the Bible, and like they just get in where you fit in. Like, if this quote fits today, like that's what it is. And I think we have to start straying away from like those type of like quotes and analogies, because I'm not saying it's not helping. I'm just saying, like, what good does it bring if I don't get to choose the type of help that comes into my life? And I don't mean like ordained help from the Most High. I mean, if, like I said, if I could see your skills and where your skill sets are at, unless I just want company, I don't probably want your help. And I've also had people that I've dated in the past tell me, like, oh my God, like, it just feels like I never do anything right. Or if I do this, like, how come you're not doing things the way I asked you? How come you're not, ow, well, that didn't really hurt. um why aren't you doing things the way I asked you to do it? And they're like, I didn't know what you mean. It's kind of like, people always give you this runaround answer of why they can or can't do something. You either can or can't do it sometimes. Stop wasting people's time, you know? Okay, so let me get into this reading. That was the opening. I have my cards right here. Let me split the deck really quickly. I need to learn how to split the deck with just my hands. Let me see if I could do it today. It's usually like boom, boom, boom. I'm gonna turn into a card master. Watch. Wait, does this go on top? This goes on top. Okay. Okay, let's take our deep breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Hold it. Exhale. Heavenly Fathers, ancestors, spirit guides, and protective angels, higher self, lower self, and Mother God, thank you so much for being here with me today and connecting me with the collective. Thank you for your abundance, substance, prosperity, and protection. Today I'm going to be doing a reading for the collective based off of the dream that I had last night. If you could please give the collective a very direct and energetic answer to what the messages will be today and what they need to receive. I'm appreciative for you for many reasons, but today I appreciate you for such clear messages and perseverance to keep getting me this message so we can get to the root cause. I appreciate everything you do. And if you're not called on in this reading, you are not welcome. I feel like lately, everything is changing. I don't know if you guys have been watching my other videos. I also make videos on my life coaching page on Instagram. And what's really profound is that right after I mentioned that you guys were getting ready to level up and you already passed the initiation phase. You already got like the golden award that you needed to. You already got, the position of wherever you're supposed to get it. It's like people don't like you in that position already. And it's not because they don't think that you can do the work. A lot of them just weren't thinking that you were doing the work behind the scenes. A lot of people feel like because they don't see you actively working, they think that you're lazy, or they think that you're lucky, or they think that someone gave you the opportunity. And in actuality, you work your ass off. I'm getting that a lot of you guys don't even hang out with a lot of people. You're not a loner, but it's like the people that are in your circle are the people that are in your circle. And if you don't really understand, and these are for the outside people, if you don't understand why these types of people hang out by themselves, ask yourself why you always need to be around people. Ask yourself why you always need to have a group, why you always need to have someone to call on. You always need somebody right there beside you. And some of you guys, it's not even with people. Some of you guys need an animal by you all the time. The little service animals that people have. You guys have high anxiety and you don't know how to channel that into your energy to make magic. You don't know how to channel your anxiety to make magic out of a lot of situations. So you get people to hang out around you all the time to confirm the narratives or to confirm certain things in your life and to confirm that you're a likable person, or you get animals because animals can't talk to you and they have Stockholm syndrome. So of course they're only going to want to be by you. And this isn't a shot at the animals or to the people who like animals. I'm just saying, like, is your anxiety, I'm asking you, is your anxiety high? Do you not trust people? I don't trust people. I don't care. I don't have an animal and I don't hang out with people. Okay. Let's get into some of the messages that Spirit has for today. I'm trying to keep things like at a very slow pace, but let's just see what they have, okay? Spirit, what messages do you have for the collective today? I'm getting the number 57. What is that? 12, which is 3. You know what? Sometimes, have you guys been seeing the angel numbers 111? I'm starting to think the angel numbers 111 are some type of like lower vibration. Like it's letting you know that you're in a lower vibration, or you're repeating a cycle, or you need to get into alignment with who you are. Mind, body, soul. 111. Get into an energy, get into a higher frequency. Let's see what other messages. I'm like, oh, please, the cards are falling on the floor. Please, Lord. You know, I hate the cards falling on the floor. Okay. I had the Queen of Cups. That's not the Queen of Cups. That's the King. That's the Queen of Wands. I'm sorry, Queen of Wands. I have the Queen of Wands. And I also have the King of Pentacles coming in. I'm gonna let you guys know right now, I'm not feeling that this is a love connection. I feel like this is gonna be a union where you guys build a society and you build a kingdom. I am not getting a lot of love in this connection, but it is something that's going to be very highly beneficial. I'm seeing that this King of Pentacles comes in with the foundation. He comes in with obviously the pentacles. He has a very intellectual way of thinking. He could be a diplomat or a scholar. He knows a lot about history, and he appreciates the smaller things in life. Whereas this Queen of Wands, she is someone who is innovative, creative. She's understanding. I'm also getting she lives a lot in her imaginative space. She's someone who is quick with her words and they're telling me quick with forgiving, but she doesn't forget. So her energy is so strong that people gravitate towards her because they know that she has the key of life. But if you cross this Queen of Wands, be ready for all of your blessings that she's giving you and answers and keys that she's giving you to be taken away. And it's almost like while you're in her energy and you're able to appreciate who she is as a person, if you don't treat her right and she kicks you out of like her energy circle and kicks you out of like her environment, you're gonna not even remember the things that she even told you. You're not gonna remember like some of the lessons that she told you, like, you know, wash your hands before you eat, pray before you eat, take your shoes off before you get in the house. There's going to be certain things that are like, depending on how long you're in her energy, you're going to be able to remember some of the routines that she had, but some of the actual messages that are important to you, you're not going to be able to remember if she kicks you out of this energy. I do see that this Queen of Wands is looking for someone that's like the King of Pentacles. The King of Pentacles obviously is focused on the pinnacle. He's focused on the bag. He's focused on, you know, creating more financial abundance in his life. But with the Queen, it's like, you see how she's looking at him like, I need some of his pinnacles. Like, it's almost like she's so tired of false flames coming inside of her world that she would just appreciate someone who is dedicated to their craft, someone who stays in structure, who understands and knows who they are just as deeply as she does. Ooh. Also with this black cat here, you see how intense this black cat is? He's like, motherfucker. This cat is like, if you cross, and it seems like this cat is like guarding and protecting this Queen of Wands. With this Queen of Wands, it's like her ancestors, they know that it's like they know that you better know to not fuck this Queen of Wands over, because this cat will fuck you up. I'm not getting any animals besides like a Taurus and a beast that's at the top. I said Taurus. A bull, it could still be a bull. A bull, and this looks like a beast. So this person can have a very calm side, but they can also have a very like chaos. What's the word I'm looking for? They just have a very chaotic energy. Like there's someone that could come in and tear everything down. I'm getting that this person might be a little bit bipolar. And it's because they live on both polarities. They haven't found a way to balance themselves yet. They haven't really found someone or something that makes them feel like they are, I don't want to say balanced, but it is kind of like balance. It's like They haven't found anyone to match their energy. It's like they're okay, let me put it this way. This King of Pentacles lives always at opposite ends of the polarity. And when this Queen of Wands, or they haven't found any energies that can match the intensity of them living at both polarities. And so this Queen of Wands that comes in is someone that matches their polarity. Like, do you see how like her throne like goes through the roof? Like her credibility and the things that she knows like goes through the roof. He has a lot of material gain. He has, you know, like look at their backgrounds. Like she's someone that is like living in light all the time, and this person's living most of the time in a 3D reality. But because this person has such like strong duality, like when I say strong duality, like diplomacy, they're also funny, they're also caring, they can also be charming, they're also, you know what I'm saying, like they're very sweet, but they're also very mean. They're also calm, but they're also very crazy. Their polarities are extreme. This Queen of Wands usually to people comes off as an extreme person because she has this untapped knowledge that people don't know how she acquired, and then they don't know how she's going to be when she's angry. So it's like she is someone that is the polarities. Like literally she is polarity in living flesh, while this person fluctuates between those polarities. So I am getting that this person, this King of Wands, it's like his energy is recognizing the Queen of Wands. I mean, the King of Pentacles is recognizing the Queen of Wands, but he doesn't seem, it's not that he's not confident, it's just like, please tell me what the King of Wands is going through. And why does he notice this Queen of Wands, but he doesn't make any steps forward towards her? He feels like he might not be able to. I mean, is it not might not be able to? This person doesn't feel like they can provide the life that this Queen of Wands wants, like, because literally they live in two different climates. Like, you see how she lives here and she's just like, you know what, I'm gonna be a queen wherever I'm at. I'm about to go live in like these Himalaya mountains, and that's just where it is, and that's where I'm at. He is like, I need to be by the water, and I need to be by my house, and I need to have a backyard, and I need to have this. Like, he has certain qualities that he needs for himself. So he thinks that this Queen of Wands, it's like, he's like, how can I get a land? How can I get more in my life to provide for this Queen of Wands? Because she's obviously living like, no matter where she goes, she's abundant. But he's not realizing that that's exactly what it is. No matter where she goes, she's abundant. It doesn't matter where she goes, she's going to be successful anywhere she goes. Where he feels like a lot of his, you know what I'm getting, this King of Wands, or this King of Pentacles, he lives so much in the 3D that he doesn't know how to connect with somebody at an intuitive level, because all of his, I don't want to say creations, but all of like the milestones in his life have been based off of materialism. So instead of him going inward and figuring out, how can I get closer to the Most High? How can I get closer to, I'm like this close to the camera. How can I get closer to the Most High? How can I get closer to this divine feminine? They're not asking those type of questions. They're just kind of like, I need to acquire more so I can bring someone like this into my life. Okay, what does this Queen of Wands think about? What does this Queen of Wands think about this King of Pentacles? What does this Queen of Wands think about this King of Pentacles? This Queen of Wands potentially thinks that Deep down, this Queen of Wands thinks that this King of Pentacles is her Ace of Cups, like wish fulfillment when it comes to love, like someone that's able to like take care of her, understand her, give her more insight. They can learn off of each other. So she thinks very highly of him, but she also thinks that he's someone that is so caught up in materialism that she's going to have to teach him a lot about spirituality. But vice versa, I guess he can teach her about materialism if they want to do that. Why are these two not together? I think it's because of the masculine, but let's see. Something that might have happened in 2024. What is that, last year? I'm also kind of getting like a fountain. It's kind of like a fountain like this. So there might have been a lot of emotions last year. You guys might have connected with somebody that makes your emotions run wild or makes your emotions run really high. Why are these two not together, Spirit? I don't know. I'm not. It's like I'm really relying on Spirit a lot today. My brain, I had a fashion show yesterday and I'm just kind of tired. These two are not together. Ace of Pentacles. I'm just guessing it hasn't been your time yet. You guys both needed to learn some lessons of your own before you get with each other. I'm also getting that this person is like the masculine, the divine masculine. He's got his feelings hurt a lot of times and he hasn't been able to really recover from that. So he just kind of looks at women or vice versa. If this woman isn't her masculine, they look at the opposite sex like they don't have anything to offer. They look at the opposite sex like there's probably somebody out there for me, but I just don't have the energy to go out and search. And I am a big person of, if you want to find, first of all, if you want to date seriously, you need to make time for dating. Save some money, pick out some dating outfits, figure out, how many dates you're going to go on a week. You have to take it seriously. I think a lot of people treat love like it's supposed to be something that's given. You have to work for love and being in a relationship in a conjunction with somebody just as much as you go to work. Like, that's why a lot of men be talking about being with women is like a chore. Shut the hell up. Oh man, you know what's so funny is a lot of the big tarot readers, a lot of the time, they only talk about like love. They don't really talk about, a lot of them that I see and follow, they always talk about love connections and they always talk about, and I'm not saying love is bad. I'm just saying there's more in life than love. There's more in life than, if you're really connected to the spiritual realm and what's going on in the spiritual realm, you should have more insight of what's going on the spiritual realm. You shouldn't just be, distracting people with love. Okay. So you guys they're not together because it's like, it has to be right. It has to be like both you guys have to learn enough lessons for you to be together, because if not, you're going to think like, this is the worst decision that I've ever made in my life. And what I'm really getting from this, divine masculine is that he has been lacking intimacy. He has been lacking forgiveness. But first, you have to forgive yourself. You guys always want forgiveness for other people. How about forgiving yourself? How about forgiving yourself that, you let yourself make those decisions? How about you forgive yourself that you can't fix everybody? How about you forgive yourself that it's not always your issue to go out and help people, and when you do and it doesn't work out the way you do, it's not a loss. Like, forgive yourself. I think the masculine has a really big heart, but when he gives it to people, I was just telling this to somebody, it's like, I was just telling this to someone, like, I was saying like loving them is really hard because they're very passionate. And so when their passion comes out, people don't really like that part because it's like it's so abrasive. Who was I telling this to? To an old friend, actually. And I was like, you're kind of harsh. Like, if you love someone, you should want to tell them with love. But I understand when emotions are high, or you're feeling defensive, or you don't you I will say this, you haven't tapped into the part of yourself, like, you have potential, but you haven't tapped into the part of yourself where you actually, like, give yourself grace and talk nicely to yourself, and use some fucking feminine energy. Be able to be gentle and kind with yourself. So sometimes when you're having conversations with people and it immediately goes left, and you feel like they're getting an attitude, because that's what they say, right? I don't have an attitude. Well, you feel like they're having an attitude, or you feel like their energy has just changed or shifted into a less loving place. It's because they don't talk to themselves nicely. They don't spend the time to appreciate the small things in life. A lot of people probably let them down before, and that heart chakra, it might be a little bit open, but it might look like lava. So it's like kind of cracked. It's not completely open and exposed. Also, don't let people manipulate you and think that you don't love yourself just because you're telling them no, or because you're not agreeing with their decisions. I feel like that's been something strong lately. Like, people think that, like, I don't like them or their ideas or whatever it is, or I don't see them trying because I have a difference of opinion. And even though I feel indifferent, it doesn't mean that, like, it's kind of like what it is. It's like, I care to not care, but I'm just letting you know my stance and where my boundaries are and where my standards are. To each their own. You're telling me something and I'm like, yeah. Okay, well, this is where I draw the line. So however you feel about that, you're going to have to digest that shit. But these people and the people who I'm talking about, because it's men and women, they just work so hard, and they're such in the 3D world, and they're trying to get so far ahead that they're missing the spiritual social cues. Like, if certain people come into your life and they say that they're spiritual, but they still have a good grasp on life, like myself, it's like, let me relax. It's hella early right now. I woke up like at 6:45, and I was like, okay, let me, routine, wash my face, brush my teeth, come on here. And what I'm really getting is there's some people who just don't talk nicely to themselves. And whether it's stemmed from childhood trauma or them just being around people who also don't talk kindly to themselves, there's a difference between people telling you, like, oh, yeah, I think you should do that. And I think that you should. Okay, there's a difference between people being kind to you and trying to encourage you rather than speaking life into you. Because there can be a lot of people that are supportive, but it's just going to start sounding like words. But when people speak life into you, they're hitting certain key points and certain moments in your timeline that you can connect with, and you can feel a surge in your body that erupts, that makes you feel alive. Okay, they're speaking life into you. You feel alive again. Oh, okay, let me relax. But you and this person aren't together because you guys had to figure out some challenges. I'm just getting some, what is the word I'm looking for? Tangible challenges. Like, there's some life challenges that you both have to work through, that you had to work through before you guys get together. Let me see what some of these challenges are. Okay, also Spirit's telling me that you guys are also not together because you're not having a conversation about being together. You guys are just watching each other. And they also told me you're not having an active conversation about wanting to be together. I feel like I've tried having an active conversation with the person that I wanted to be with about being together, and they're just so caught up in their emotions. Like I was telling you with the divine masculine, like they really feel like their outside world dictates their inside world, when literally their outside world is crazy because their inside world is crazy. So if you're someone that finds yourself always wanting to go to work or wanting to go to sleep, anything other than, like, if you're avoiding that one thing that's inside of you, that's probably what needs to be worked on. That's for myself too. I'm tired. Like I'm tired, like at a soul level. Like, man, part of my last dream was like I was being Oh yeah, that's what I want to talk about in this reading too. So this might be a long reading. I just had a dream that I was discovering my powers, and then this guy was trying to put me down, and then I was like, okay, you know what? And then he put his hand in my face, and I grabbed his hand and took it out my face. Oh no, this was a different one. So he was talking to me. I was like trying to do my powers, and then I looked over, and he said, "Oh, you have a low frequency." And he was like, "It should be higher," and I'm like, okay, bitch, you don't even know what I'm trying to tap into while you're in my business. And I'm talking to him, and I was like, actually, you know what? And then he slaps me, y'all. He slaps me. And then I fucking bite him. Yeah, bitch. Yeah. What hurts more? Teeth and marks in you, or yeah, a slap to the face. The slap, I don't even know if it hurt or not, but I bit the fuck out of that motherfucker. And then, you know, he was in a secret organization, and he started following me, and then they came to my house, and then I don't know if they were about to kill me or like, I don't know what, but I was so scared. And there was like a whole bunch of people that were showing up to my house. And then, they were like, okay, they were like, yeah, we're about to punish you. Like, you know why we're here. They're like, you bit him. That's why we're about to punish you. And I was like, wait, like he bit me first. And then everything stopped. And they were like, I was like, yeah, he slapped me first. And I was like, he literally slapped me. That's why I bit him. And then they were just like looking at him like, bitch, did you hit her first? And then, you know, and then there was like other people who came to my house, and then they wanted to, I can't tell you everything, but they wanted to pretty much harm me. And yeah, they had like a hammer and like slammed my knees and slammed my ankles like with a hammer. And then I was handicapped. I don't know where I was at, y'all. I was not in America, because this woman also offered me some pounds. Pounds is not in America. Isn't that like in England? United Kingdom type shit. Anyway. So yeah, I don't know where we were just at, but you guys need to focusing on the material world. Your inner world is gonna reflect your outer world. So a lot of people like to think that I'm very lucky. I just have a very beautiful inner world. Like, I have a very lucky inner world. I'm always constantly changing, constantly evolving, constantly reflecting. And when you do that, you build a connection with those two worlds. And when you build a connection with those two worlds, you start to understand that, like, you can have anything, you can have what you want, but sometimes, and it gets, I'm always stuttering. Oh my goodness. My brain's going faster than how fast I can speak. But it also turns into, once you start focusing on those two worlds, you also have the spiritual world to adapt to. So it's more than just connecting the two worlds. Sorry, I feel so loopy today. I feel like in a dream space, but I don't even know what to eat. I have some tomato soup. Maybe I might eat that today. So you guys aren't together pretty much because you're not having an active conversation about being together. But like I said, I tried to have an active conversation with my person that I'm supposed to be here with. And he literally told me, he's tired, and he's tired of saving people. And I'm like, hello, we're supposed to be saving the world. And he's just like, I know. My stomach hurts. Okay, let me give you guys some advice and then get off of here. There's something iffy going on. I don't know what's happening. What's the advice today, Spirit, that we have for the collective? I might come on here and do another reading later. What advice today do we have for the collective? I have, oh my gosh, the Queen of Wands again. That was the card that flipped over. Hold on, I have to respond to someone because I know that they be busy. Not hold on, let me just turn this on really quick. Oh, of course. Why is everything, I feel like every time, like I come home to my electronics, They be dead. I be using the hell out of my electronics. When I get old, am I gonna say electronics like this, or is it just going to be, you know? Okay. Here we go. What advice do we have for the collective? Something's telling me move forward. The Strength card. Dang it, you guys. I love these cards. I'm going to have to restore these cards because like they're starting to... This is literally like my favorite deck. And I don't know. I literally thrifted this deck. It was like, oh my God, it was like literally right there. Like once I got into the thrift store, it was right there. And I was like, I'm going to take this. And I usually don't grab a lot of decks from the thrift shop. But, sorry. I was looking at these cards and got distracted. I usually don't, but this one just spoke out to me like, yes, because I'm a master. This is the Master Rider-Waite Tarot. What other messages do we have? Page of Cups. This person's starting to get a little bit of confidence in them, you know? They're really starting to... It's like who they're supposed to be is being more projected in their reality. They're starting to wake up to who they are and what they're supposed to do. And then, you know, this person doesn't really understand. And I'm going to be honest with you. This person doesn't understand why things are happening the way that they do. They try to pretend like they actually know why things are happening in the way that they are, but they really don't, you know? So, I mean, that's part of the masculine, right? He's very, the King of Pentacles is very calculated, intellectual. Okay, I'll wait for that message to go through. What other messages? I was looking for this earlier. Okay. What other messages do we have? Not messages. What advice do we have for the collective? Sorry, that was hella quick. 5 of Wands. And I'll get 2 more. What other messages? 9 of Swords. And last message. Got it. Knight of Pentacles. I also have this card here. I don't know why these 2 cards wanted to show up. Damn it. 7 of Swords. 8 of Swords. It's not that damn it. It's just like, I be like... I'd be having to read a lot of cards, and then it's like a lot more messages than what I'm expecting. Okay, so it looks like the advice that I have for you today is, let me get them all lined up. This person, like I said, whether this is your masculine or feminine, whoever you are watching this video, the feminine is looking towards new love because this person's not ready for this connection. The masculine is having some type of dark night of the soul so they can wake up to who they are. They're contemplating on sending a message to you, but they don't even know why or what message they need to send to you. They just are like, I need to send them a message. I need to reach out to them. It's almost like they're still trying to stay in your energy to keep you connected with them until they have finished their training or you know, there's some type of rebirth that's happening in their life. Like they're waking up to who they are. They are trying to really grasp what's going on in their life, because it seems like their inner world could be a little chaotic, and then like I said, your inner world and outer world connect, so eventually their outer world is going to start being chaotic, and they might have some I don't want to say, maybe like suicidal thoughts, or they'll start having some just very negative thoughts, you know, that they won't be able to harness within them. And they're thinking about sending you a message, but they don't know what message to send. They just know that they need to reach out to you, and they're just trying to keep you in their environment, in their vicinity, until they're done with this transformation. It's very interesting that these two cards came out. You see how someone is trying to lead you astray? Someone's trying to lead you astray from like the actual path that you're supposed to be on. With this Seven of Swords here, Seven of Swords is about trickery, is about, you know, setting up obstacles in your way. And sometimes if this is the person and this card shows up, it's not always about other people doing it. Sometimes you're getting in your own way and setting up your own invisible traps. And then the Eight of Swords is about not being able to see clearly, knowing that you have everything that you need, but you're just walking blindly, like you don't really know what's happening, like you're just, you know, not tapped in. So feeling like lost and confused, and feeling like you can't see, you know, the next steps that you're taking in front of you, which can be pretty scary. I'm gonna pull one more card because I have to see what's going on with this trickster energy. Spirit, please tell me about this Eight of Swords and Seven of Swords. They came out like right after. Please help me explain this Seven of Swords and Eight of Swords energy, please. The star at the bottom. Sorry, I gotta cover her. Star at the bottom of the deck. What's behind the star? Queen of Swords. I'm getting that this masculine doesn't know. They just think that you're happy-go-lucky. They don't know that you could literally fuck shit up if you need to. And then they'd be like, oh yeah, I know. And it's just like, no, you don't know. Like, I feel like one of the collectives is like, bitch, I'm trying to train to be top shelf black belt. I want to kick somebody's ass. Maybe it's me. Maybe I want to kick somebody's Okay. This is the card that came out when I said explain the Eight of Swords and the Seven of Swords. Literally, the Two of Cups came out. Be careful of this person trying to use you for your intellectual and ascension gifts. You're about to have some type of upgrade in your spiritual gifts. And this person feels it and recognizes it, but it's kind of like, why would that be bad? I'm going to also ask that. Or it could be that, I mean, what I was getting earlier with the Seven and Eight of Swords was that both of you guys are kind of like playing like you don't see each other type shit. And, you know, you need to like lock in. But I'm really getting that, you just need to be careful of this. You need to be careful of this masculine because he's not fully healed yet. He could be taking things very literal, and, you know, because he's in a learning process, he's soaking up everything. He's just soaking in things like a sponge. And when you guys have conversations, it could send him into a spiral. But he's like, he yearns for it. He yearns for that knowledge that you have. I need to know a little bit more about this Two of Cups. What's up with this Two of Cups that we have here? Like, Four of Cups. I'm getting that, oof. Also, this is at the bottom of the deck. You guys are kind of marrying each other. You guys are both feeling like, I don't really want this gift. I don't want this gift. I don't want this person. I don't really care about love. Let me see. Another card came out also. It's like you both just want to move on to a better space in life. So what I'm getting is like you guys, there is potential of love in this connection, but there also needs to be honesty. And like I said in my, oh, well, you guys weren't here. It was on my YouTube, on my life coach page, that there needs to be like a conversation of expectations, but not expectations of what you're expecting of this person in the future, of it's of the things that you need right now. So a lot of people, when they say expectations, they're like, you know, you're gonna have to do this, or let me be more specific, like I want my car, you know, washed and filled with gas every week. I want groceries to be delivered to the house every week. I want to be able to be in a connection where the person that I'm with, you know, takes the time and to understand me and like what I'm going through. And, you know, there's like this whole list of things that you're probably not even doing for yourself right now. So let's just be realistic with the expectations that you have on someone else. I feel like the expectations that I give people, I do that shit for myself. So it's kind of like you're kind of coming in and ruining what I'm doing for myself. Besides opening my door and being on time, I actually try to be on time. Like if someone says, okay, I need you to be on time. Okay, I'm on time. But if I, you know, if there's like a little wiggle room, 10 minutes, I'm gonna spend the extra little 10, 15 minutes, you know, making sure I gather my things that I need. Cause I don't know, as a spiritual girly, you just don't leave the house with just a person makeup. You gotta do extra stuff before you leave. So that's the message for today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys enjoy messages like this more, please book a personal reading with me on my Instagram that I have linked below. And other than that, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.